Good morning, friends. Today is Tuesday, June 3rd, and it's episode number 3 of the Start from the Heart 15 minutes or less gratitude podcast. As many of you know, this was an idea that was spurred by several people talking about how they just wake up every day and they either need a boost that doesn't come from caffeine or a boost of energy, or, some people use their mornings to pray, do devotionals, to read, to work out. Some of us do all the above. One thing that I do every day, almost every day, I'll admit I don't do it every day, but I strive to, that I learned from this guy on the screen that you see, Charles Antis, one of my closest friends in the world. Charles introduced me several years ago to this 5-minute gratitude journal, and it's a very simple process for me and for millions of people around the world. It's a great way to start and end your day, just to recognize what you're grateful for, kind of plan out what would make today great. I love one of the middle sections in the book is to write 3 I am statements. Typically, the 3 I use are I am happy, I am healthy, and I'm making a positive impact. I do change it up, but that's been my day every day the last month or so that I'm striving for. And at the end of the day, we write up, what went well and what could have gone better. So with that, I want to introduce you. If you don't know this guy already, where have you been? But if you do, you know my good friend Charles Antis, who again handed me that journal 5 years ago, maybe. And that's been one of the best things that's happened. Actually, it was before that. It was before COVID. I remember it was 2019 because I remember I wrote in it through COVID, and that got me through a lot of things. So, Charles, how you doing this wonderful Tuesday morning?
I am doing really well because I did my gratitude journal today. I knew I was going
Attaboy.
to be on. I had to make sure I got it done today before you interviewed me because I truly do need this certain repetition of habits in the morning so I don't wake up lost in thought with some bullshit that I didn't do well enough or won't do well enough in the future. You know how we get lost in thought. We get hijacked by a thought. It may not even be ours. It might be floating in a room full of hostile people, and somehow we assign it to ourselves, and we can hold on to it for a minute or a
Yeah.
month.
Yeah. Or a lifetime.
Yes, unless we have a tool like the gratitude journal. So I'll tell
Mhm.
you how I got it though, because it's not
Please.
fair that I've given out thousands, but you may know Tony D. Costanzo, local CEO of
Mhm.
BookPal. They're
Yeah.
like a mini Amazon, amazing man. And we are in Vistage. We were in a Vistage group together for a long time. Close. And you know, Vistage, it's a CEO think tank. You meet together once a month, you share ideas. And one day, Tony comes in, there's 12 of us, we're all CEOs, and he hands us all a 5-minute journal. And he says, this has been amazing. We're selling these now, but if you do it, it'll make you happier. And honestly, I didn't believe it. It wasn't that I didn't believe it. It's just like everybody says everything about everything,
Right.
So,
Best thing
there
since
was,
sliced bread. Yeah.
but there was peer pressure. I had I couldn't be the one who didn't do it. I figured all of 11 would. So for the next month, I made sure that every morning I got up and I wrote 3 things I was grateful for, which is what prompts us to do.
Mhm.
3 things that'll make the day great, and then 3, like you mentioned, I am. I
Yeah.
am.
Sounds so hippie and so forth, but it really is great.
So I did it. I came back to the Vistage group a month later, and 3 of us had done it.
I was going to say you were probably in the minority there. Yeah.
And we were high-fiving. And we were
Nice.
saying, "Oh my God, I am definitely happier." We were all
Yeah.
three happier, healthier. Everything is, because look, we all worry about bullshit when often we're not looking. We have food, we have a roof, we're not looking to go to jail, and yet we're acting as if there's a real threat. And this gratitude journal lets you not only settle it where you can see things as they are and be grateful for all that you've achieved, that you always, boy, if I ever had that, I'd be grateful. Here you are, not grateful, but it gets you grateful, and then
Yeah.
it sets the tone for the day. So for me, it's been a lifesaver, and that's why I've given out literally thousands.
Yeah. So I'm going to dive in and ask you either from memory or if you have it in front of you, ask you what about your entry today. But before I do that, at the end of the day, since I'm not going to interview you at the end of the day today, and I didn't interview you last night, is there one thing that when you put your head on the pillow at the end of the night that you think about that think, man, I did that today, therefore it was, and I know there's different things, but is there some common thing that you come back to a lot that can be sort of that barometer for you that says this was a really good day?
But thank you. That's a great question. I think that it's difficult for me to have that kind of consistency, and I'll tell you why. It I don't I need the gratitude journal
Yeah,
because I
the
so
framework.
I so often forget of all of the wonderful things that I'm involved with. I can go for 10 minutes, get lost in thought, worried about something that would never happen, and suddenly see a big Antis dump truck go by that says keeping families safe and dry, and it snaps me out of this place where I'm worried. So at the end of the day, I'm usually tired. I
Yeah.
usually feel happiness in that I know that I was close to people I needed to be close to that day, and that starts with
Awesome.
family.
Yeah.
If I don't feel close to my family, then I don't go to sleep as well.
Yeah.
If I don't feel attached to what's going on, I don't go to sleep as well. My point is I don't end the night as well as I have to start the morning, because if I go into this state of spinning on something, and CEOs, we can spin on anything. You know, we sometimes go to sleep on Sunday night wondering if the business will be there Monday morning,
Right.
and it's just kind of a mind trap you get into. And so at the end of the day is not my I'm not saying I don't go to sleep well. I sleep usually, I'm tired, I go to sleep well, but
Right.
I don't end the journal. The 5 minute journal has prompts at the end of the day what
Right.
to do well. I'm going to self-admittedly, even the guy that's given out more 5 minute journals than anybody here, I don't do the end of the day prompts. And you know when I do it? When I'm in pain.
Hmm.
When
Yeah.
like your dad says, when you're stuck, serve. When
Right.
you're also willing to do whatever it takes to end pain. Both of you know that with knee pain. We've done acupuncture,
Right.
we've done everything to now knee replacement. I'm
Yeah.
following your lead, getting my knee
You just
replaced.
did mine. You're about to do yours. Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't give you
Yeah.
the. I
No,
just want.
that's true. No, you gave me the answer that I
There's
obviously.
one more part that I have
Yeah.
to say. Something about CEOs that I'm aligned with is there's a humility that we can't help but have. We might talk about something we in the moment telling that story that we did, but we often don't hold it up as like, wow, look at me. And there's something awesome about not necessarily thinking I'm that great. I mean, I like feeling humble. So I just need to make sure that I don't feel less than, and that's why I use the gratitude journal.
Yeah.
And
Awesome.
all those other morning practices. I meditate. I listen to a guided
Right.
meditation tape. And this morning, you know what I did before I got here? I went hawking. I started looking. There's an albino red-shouldered hawk that's very rare. It's like 1 out of 80,000. That's right off the Bison exit going into UCI. So I
Hmm.
actually stalked it this morning. I saw one
Nice.
of its relatives, another red-shouldered, but it wasn't the one I was looking for. But
Huh,
when
how
I do
funny.
that and I go stand among the trees and I hold a tree, now that's something that's very unique to me, but a lot of listeners have something similar. There's something
Yeah.
about nature when you put it in front of you. So this morning I held a tree in front of our office before I came in, and I sort of meditated, and I felt the tree
Hmm.
pull, twist, not back and forth, but like a magic carpet in every direction. And when I do that, it's like I handed a box of food to an elderly person. I feel
Hmm.
my aliveness, and so I use all these hacks. And the
Yeah.
5 minute journal is the leader of those hacks. But I also get a daily message from the universe. Tut, don't you get that?
I do
Susan
too. Yeah.
Kenny.
Yeah.
Susan Kenny hooked us into that.
Right.
And it gives you a little nudge like, hey, like, don't judge yourself. It'll say it's like, whenever you speak to another human being, always speak to their highest self. I mean, it gives you these prompts that are so beautiful. And if I give myself those positive moments in the morning, it can give me the best day ever over and over.
This morning, for the record, Ed, and it personalizes to you, life is not fair. Your thoughts become things, your words give you wings, and legions lie in wait at your beck and call. Life is way more than fair. So that was today's message from the universe. Thank you, Susan Kenny, for sending those to us, 5 or 6 years or however many years ago that was. All right,
Well,
so today, what are you thankful for most?
well, I won't scroll. I did mine on my
Yeah.
digital one today,
Yeah.
which is, I prefer to write it out, but
I do mine right. Every now and then I'll do the phone, but probably 95% of the time I write it out.
and I was very wordy today. I spent more than 5 minutes. I probably spent 9 minutes.
Yeah, there you go.
Journal. But I think health has to be that when you have a health struggle, like dealing with chronic pain, like we have in the last
Mhm.
few years, both of us, you really need to put that in a good spot.
Yeah.
So I need to be positive about it. I need to and do everything I can and get my mindset on that. So I'm grateful for my health and I'm grateful for my family. I can't not look at my beautiful family, 62-year-old man with 10-year-old boy-girl twins at home.
Yeah.
Give me this. Last night, Gracie and I buried a bird together. A female finch ran into the window and it died. And so she said, let's bury it. And we dug a hole and she buried it right next to several other animals she's buried. And she made a tombstone and she named it Birdie, something like that.
Yeah.
Or Myrtle or something, and she wrote a note how it died and put it on the headstone, and we said a few words, and then she put rocks on it, and then she went and picked a bouquet of flowers and put it on that.
I
Now
love that.
that's a gift when you get that, and I get the
Yeah.
same thing from my son, and that tone though doesn't start from them. It starts from their mom,
Yeah.
and their mom, my wife Dawn, is an incredible woman. I have attended two nonprofit events with her in the last 3 nights, a Goodwill event and a Shea Center
Hey,
event.
Center. Yeah, I saw that.
And I just love the opportunity to be with her because she's normally with those twins. And so I'm grateful for my family, and I'm really grateful for this team. I actually went in the back this morning and I saw all my team loading. And look at all these trucks going out to all these counties from San Diego to LA, and I'm going, wow, this is really cool. I get to be a part of this, and so I'm really grateful for this team and how we invest in all of our people. I don't say no to anything that they want that will help them, if it's education, if it's going to a seminar, because we have 10 people in Vistage. How
Wow.
is that possible? But that's what I'm going to give them everything. And I'm grateful for this team. So I think my gratitude was I'm grateful that I'm writing a book just like you.
Yeah.
I don't know when it's going to be done, but I'm grateful that who's me? I get to do this? Are you
Right.
kidding? So I try to keep my mindset, be really grateful for everything beautiful happening in my life. What will make the day great? Is this I'm lately, you say you get into the habits of writing, and I've always get into the habits of writing, and so lately it's the L words. Today I will listen, because if I don't listen, I can't, nothing grows.
Yeah.
I will love, I
Yeah.
will, I will lift.
Mm.
And that's everything that I do. I must address all in the room and give them a nugget that would lift them. Otherwise, I'm wasting their time. The most critical L word and I like the L words because it reminds me, is this thing that I forget to do, is I will let go.
Mm.
I hold on to shit that doesn't mean anything for no reason. A tendency to worry, I have to let go. So a constant reminder of I must let go. Recently, I heard a great mantra from a Thai forest monk, one of the greatest mantra he's ever heard of, and he gave it to me, and I'm thinking, this is great. What is it? And it was to say this 3 times. Every time there's any sort of a conflict in your mind with someone, say this: I may be wrong. I may be wrong. I may be wrong.
Mm.
So powerful
Yeah.
for me to do that. So today I get and if whatever I write down happens, and I do get to lift people. I get to go out, be on a podcast, and
Yeah.
I'm going to have a conversation with someone that's one of your friends. I might be a new one for me, but this will spur conversation after conversation and growth, and I will get a more refined view from what they bring back to me. So it's a beautiful process. And then on the I ams, I always say at the end, I am a master storyteller and people awakener. I
Yeah.
need to say that because I need to remember that I need to tell things in story. Um,
Mhm.
and when I do, and if you do it all the time, you can do it in sequence. We've both been trained by
Yeah.
Master Jay Golden, so we
Right.
know he tells us, don't waste people's time. You
Yeah.
got you got to take them into that pit, and they got to feel the cortisol from that real life challenge, and then you got to quickly bring them out, and with that new ray of hope that might have lines to everyone, and then ever since then, what it's been. I mean, and when we do it that way, that's critically important. But I write lately. I write I am water. Now I write I am water because water is an element that connects all of us, and it's in us. We are mostly water. And water is the key to solving roof leaks for leak whisperers. We behave like water because water says, for where there is failure, I will find it always. I will not pause to preside. I will just flow without bias. And water always finds the leak. And we when I the reason I want to be like water, what I've learned in the mastering roof leaks and being a leak whisperer, is when I behave like water, I do the same in the community. And it's not easy to keep saying yes in the community to donate all the habitat roofs. I mean, it's an internal struggle to do so, but something magic happens when we do. So I have to write that I am generous, I am kind. You know, I have to stir myself up too. I am beautiful. I have to write things like that, you know, and if I do, then I think it builds the bridge for me to get there. I was writing I am a master storyteller way before anyone said that Charles is a great storyteller.
Right. Like Muhammad Ali, I am the greatest. He wrote that before he really was. I love that. I've heard you talk about that water analogy before, and every time you do, it hits me differently. Water always finds the leak. To me, that is so profound because as you're talking, I'm picturing water fills the empty spaces. I mean, if you pour water into an area where there's crevices and holes, it's going to fill those every time. And I love that analogy of as human beings, we go out and we fill the emptiness. We go out, there are people, there's a person right now, and I'm not going to mention any names for the sake of it might be someone that anybody here might know, but um, I get the impression from seeing this individual at various events and in the community and so forth that there's a need for some of us to reach out. And I'll talk to you offline about who it is. I'm sure you have an opinion. Um, but it's forced me to look at that individual and others differently. It's like you know, we just came out of the month of May, Mental Health Awareness Month. You guys just did that event at Cal State Fullerton, you and Eric and others. And the opportunity for us to be water and to look for those empty spaces, those crevices, those cracks, those holes where people might be going through hell. They might be going through worse than hell. And it might be that we just call them up or we put our arm around them or we send them a text or comment on something they put on social media, for heaven's sakes. That might be all they need. And so, yeah, that your water finds the leak is something I've heard before, but it's the best thing today, June 3rd. It's the best thing I've heard in a long time because I needed it today. So thank you for that.
I appreciate that. I think that to finalize that, I do talk about this from time to time, and the final thought on that is when we as people behave like water, we are acting as our highest selves.
Perfect. Well, Bud, good to see you. I meant for this to be short. It is. For those watching, I want to interview you. I want to have you on. If you're watching this right now, I want you to do what Charles did this morning. Come on with me. Share with me what you're grateful for, what's going to make it, whether you do the 5 minute journal or not. This is never, or nor will it ever be a plug for that book in particular. It's a plug for the process. And the process is wake up every day, get outside of the problems that you may be having, because you are. If you're a person with ears and eyes and you can hear and you can see, you're going through something, or you will be, or you just came out of something. Like I said yesterday on this little solo episode I did, you're either heading into a trial or a challenge or a problem, you're in it or you're coming out of it, and that's just going to continue to be that bumpy ride. So, love to hear from you. So please DM me, reach out, spend time with me, and share with me what you're grateful for, what would make today great. Charles, time with you today is a big part of what's making today great for me and for our listeners and viewers already. So I thank you. I honor your time. I know you have a lot. You get the last word, and then I'm going to wrap up.
I was just going to tell the listeners, Ed is the most gentle and deep thoughted interviewer. So come, you will love what you're able to conjure up together.
I can only be at the level of my guests, and I just am very blessed that I get to interview some really, really great people, and I just love asking questions. I mean, ask a question and let them go. That's kind of the theory behind it. So thank you, my brother. Love you, and it's just always great to start a day or get any time of the day with you. So I hope all of you have been inspired today, like I have, and thank you, Charles Antis of Antis Roofing, for the work you do, the community that you serve. the holes and crevices that you fill. It's felt, and it's very powerful and very meaningful. So thank you.
Thank you, brother.